Hello everybody, and welcome to your next Sfml tutorial on making a platformer. So in the last tutorial we created a ScreenManager class, and the ScreenManager class is what we used in order to it's a singleton class that's going to be used to create different types of screens, right? Well, what we're going to do now in this tutorial is we're going to create a GameScreen class, and what this GameScreen class is going to be doing, it's going to be a base class for all the different screens. So let me go through the difference. The ScreenManager is going to handle the different screens, like tell the different screens when to initialize, update, load content, etc., etc. And the GameScreen class is just going to be a base class for the other screens, so we'll have default virtual functions, methods, etc., etc. Okay. So if you don't understand this concept, then hopefully you understand it by the end of this tutorial or later on down the line. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to File, New, and we're going to create a class. So we're going to name this class GameScreen. I don't know why my shift button is not working well today. Okay, GameScreen. And we're just going to go down to create, and what we're going to do as well is that we're going to create a splash screen as well. So we're going to go back to File, and I'm just going to show you this. So File, New Class, we're going to name the splash screen. So the splash screen is going to be the first thing that we show in our game, okay? So it's going to show who was made by. So for me, I'm going to put Coding Made Easy. Oh, I didn't even create it. Sorry, I might put Coding Made Easy or whatever. Anything you need, that any references you have for your game, you can put it in there. So I'm going to put splash screen. And we're just going to click create at the bottom. Okay, so we have created our splash screen, and we're not going to do anything with the splash screen except that we're going to say public game screen. So all our game screens are going to be derived from the GameScreen class. So the GameScreen class is the base class or the parent class, and all the other screens are the child classes. Okay. So what we're going to do with the GameScreen class is we're going to have 4 public methods, and these are going to be load content, it's going to be unload content, and we're going to have update, and we're going to have draw. Okay, and in the draw, we're going to want to have a render window. So you're going to want to include the graphics. So Sfml graphics .hpp. So we want to make a reference to the render window. And we never created a window yet, we know that, but we just want to have everything set up. Okay, so we have our draw command in there. Okay, so these are the 4, and what we have to do is we have to make these virtual, because the other classes, the derived classes, are going to override these methods, and therefore it's going to be able to do whatever it needs to do with them. And you're going to be seeing why I'm doing it like this later. Virtual void. Okay, so we made these all virtual, and some of you might be saying, why not have an initialize method or whatever? The reason being is this is how our program is going to work. Okay, the way our program is going to work is that we're going to, whenever we need that screen, whenever we're displaying that current screen, we load that screen's content, right? When we don't need it anymore, so when we go to a new screen, we unload the content. And when we're on the screen, we update it and we draw everything to the screen whenever we need it. Okay, so everything else is set. So we're going to go back to the ScreenManager class, and we'll go to ScreenManager.h, and we'll get rid of all this stuff because this was just to show you how it works. Okay, So what we'll have for the ScreenManager class is that we'll have we'll have five methods. So we'll have Initialize, we'll have load content, we'll have unload content. Well, actually we don't really need it, but we'll put that there just in case. Unload content, we have update, and last but not least we'll have draw, and that will be the SF render window. And you don't have to include Sfml graphics because we're going to be including the game screen in this class. So the game screen. So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be creating an instance of the game screen in this class, and we're going to call it current screen, and we're going to have that in a new screen. Now later on we're going to be creating a game screen stack, so we probably don't need this game screen, this new screen right here, but we're just going to put it there for now. And what this stack is going to do is going to be setting the order at which the screens that you've been on. So if you want to go back a screen, then you'll be able to do so by popping the stack, so taking off the top thing off the stack, and you display the screen from there. Now we want to have pointers to it because we're going to be using polymorphism, so you want to have pointers to the class. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, before we end this tutorial, we're going to just be creating our functions. Okay, so for Initialize, we're going to say that current screen is equal to new splash screen, and therefore since we do that, we're going to have to include splash screen in here as well. So every single screen that you're going to use, you're going to have to include it in the ScreenManager class. Or actually, I don't really think so. Well, we'll have to see later. I might be confusing it between different languages, but I'm not really sure. But we have the ScreenManager, we have the Initialize method in there, and there's going to be more we're going to put in the Initialize. We're just setting up kind of like the base stuff for it. So for load content, we're going to have current screen and load content. And for the update, we're going to have current screen. And don't worry, I didn't forget unload content, just if you guys are like, wait, you forgot about it. I didn't forget about it. And we have ScreenManager draw, and we have current screen dot draw. Okay, so for the unload content, we can erase this for now because we're going to be unloading the content in a different manner. But this tutorial is, I'll say it's done for now. Basically, well, I guess it's not done until we actually go in the GameScreen class and actually create our functions. So we have our load content. Load content, we have our unload content, we have our update, and last but not least we have our draw. And that's gonna be it for this tutorial. We're just basically setting up kind of like the skin of the game, so we're just setting up the surrounding stuff that we actually really need. But yeah, so basically, just to sum it all up, the game screen class is going to be the base class for every single screen that we need. We have the virtual functions, and we're going to override the virtual functions within our classes. And then when we override it, we're going to tell it what we need to do within each separate class. Since we have our ScreenManager, our current screen is going to be the screen that we display. So right now the current screen is set to the new splash screen, set to the splash screen that we're going to display. When we want to display a different screen, we're going to set current screen equal to a different screen, then we're going to display that screen accordingly, etc., etc. So that is it for this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and bye.